Okay, but let's hone into Vancouver West. So at the end of May, your sales were down 45% year over year. Your benchmark sitting at 3.36. That's down 5.2% year over year and down almost 2% month over month. I would say this is one segment, as you're going to see, lots of inventory. Townhome sales are up 22% year over year. So there's actually more sales in the month of May this year than there was last year. So that's positive. Your benchmark sitting at 1.419, down about 5% year over year in terms of price and just down half a point month over month in price. Condo sales are down 16% year over year for West Side condos. You're sitting at 839 for your price, down only 0.6 year over year and 1% month over month. Now, in terms of inventory, you can see that detached market's gone from 6.8 to 15.1 months of inventory. So that price point, the elevated price points are where you're seeing the most amount of accumulation of inventory, up 122% year over year. Townhomes, fairly flat, sitting at 3%. You saw the sales were kind of better than they were last year, and condos went from 5.8 to 7.2, so up 24% year over year, and the condos are sitting in that buyer's market. Townhomes are as well, but they've been kind of flat, kind of hanging around. They're on that cusp of that buyer's market. And the detached has gone from, a very typical, just on the cusp of a buyer's market to deep buyer's market territory in terms of 15 months of inventory. So Vancouver East, sales are down almost 31% year over year, sitting at 1.828 for your benchmark price, which is down almost 3% year over year with 1.3% month over month. So this is that rollover. We were doing quite well year over year, but we're starting to see some of these prices come off, just chip off a little bit. Nothing major, just a little bit at a time. So we've had a lot of price stability. Townhomes on the east side, in terms of sales, are down 26% year over year. Your benchmark price is at 1.120, down 1.2% year over year and just 0.5% month over month. And your east side condo sales are down 26% year over year. Benchmark price is 696, down 3.2% year over year in terms of your benchmark price and just 1% month over month. So where's prices going? Well, your inventory went from a balanced market and detached to a buyer's market in May, so up 84% with respect to that detached product. Now, please keep in mind, I think there's a lot of inventory in there that is geared towards multiplex and tear downs. So just keep that in mind, that that's the thing with that entry level in the east side, at least, is there's, that difference between what can you live in and what would you tear down. And so you get an accumulation of the stuff that's probably more unlivable inventory that accumulates. Product that you can actually move into that's affordable for families is, in demand for sure. And we're not building any more single detached houses, right? Most of them are getting torn down. Townhomes went from buyer's market territory last year into just on the cusp of, being in a balanced market, but skewed on this seller side, although we saw, price decreases there. So months of inventory up 46%. And condos went from just being in the cusp of a seller's market into buyer's market territory, and 49% increase in your months of inventory. So you can see those opportunities there for sure. We're sitting at about 17,000 homes, just like 100 more homes than we were at the end of May. I mean, it's very early into the month, but definitely the message here is it is a market made for buyers. Like mortgage rates, you could, for first-time home buyers, insured product, you can see specials at 3.84. The home price, pretty much we're down 5.5% from the peak, a little bit more depending on where you might be located. And inventory, this was up 160% when we're at 14,500 homes, and we're now at 17,000. So if anybody ever had complained about inventory, it is here. You have your options and you have the ability to shop for the right home for you at the right price, at the right pace. And I touched on this last month. Like, look, there was a revision down for our projected annual sales. Personally, I think if this trade war continues on, I don't know that we'll eke out as many sales as we did last year, given the way things are going. But I think if there's something positive comes out of this trade war situation, then yeah, I think we could actually have a pretty good back half of this year, especially if we see some further interest rate decreases, because I think the Bank of Canada is in a bit of a hampered spot right now. Anyhow, I'm Christine Kopr with Sotheby's Realty in Vancouver, BC, and that is my June market update. Thank you so much, and make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, to my newsletter, so you can get it every month into your inbox. All right, talk to you later.